So you're lazy and you want to become productive. Well, you have come to the right channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a beginner's guide to productivity and turning from lazy to productive and beating procrastination once and for all. Hello, my name is Dylan, I'm 18 and just 1 year ago I was playing video games for up to 5 to 6 hours every single day, getting zero work done and progressing in no goal at all. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you a beginner guide to productivity. I understand this channel has advanced tactical techniques and strategies to turn people productive, but in today's video I'm going to dull it down, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to give you actionable advice of what I would do if I was starting from zero, if I was starting from lazy, if I was starting in a rut of procrastination and not productive. So the first tip, a preface to the second: attempt and adapt. So the only way you're going to figure out productivity in your own actualization is by attempting to be productive, by setting yourself a task or a session of work and attempting to do it in the most efficient and effective and therefore productive manner you possibly can. So attempting it is key. Giving it a good shot, you kind of know in the back of your mind, like, it's not going to be the most productive work you've ever done, but it's better than where you were before. So giving it a good, motivated, effortful shot will be very effective because you can adapt. So if you do the work and you do it with no music, you do it at a random time in the middle of the day when you get a splurge of motivation, and you only do it for 30 minutes per se, then there's three criteria, there's three details you can analyze and potentially change to figure out what really works for you and what actually makes you more productive. So for example, you've done the work with no music, no external stimulation to keep you dialed in on the task. Maybe next time try some classical music, or maybe some binaural beats in the next session you try, and just see what stimulates you to be more productive and dialed in on the work you're completing. For a lot of people, music helps a lot. For a lot of people, having that external stimulation through your auditory system allows you to remain dialed in on the productive task in front of you. For others, it's the opposite. Some like to work in silence, but it's personal to you and it needs to be adapted to your productive style of learning and getting work done. Attempt, shoot a shot, try and be productive and try and get the work done, and then analyze, adapt and figure out what were you doing that you enjoyed, what were you doing that you found made you more dialed in and focused on the task, and what were you doing that took away from that. Were you every 5 minutes on your phone doom scrolling on Instagram Reels looking at brain rot comments? Or then you know in the next bout of work you need to put your phone on do not disturb and allow yourself to be more focused on the task ahead. What did you eat before the session? What did you consume? Was it high carbohydrates? Was it low carbohydrates? Was it a lot of protein? Were you feeling satiated in terms of your fullness? And maybe even what exercise you've done in the day. I've just come back from a run, that's why I look a bit sweaty in today's video, but what are the criteria of before the work, after the work, in between the work? What are the criteria that are making your work either unproductive or productive? Analyze them, adapt them, change them, and see what works. This will be a long process. This will be 10 attempts, and out of the 10 attempts you have to analyze and shift in between, and eventually you'll get it. You'll figure out what makes you tick, what makes you more productive, and you can implement that and turn it into your best qualities. For me, I like to have the external stimuli of a low interest topical podcast. So for me, something like history. Recently I listened to a podcast on Leonardo da Vinci while I was doing my work, and as it's not related to my work and it's not really a topic I'm vitally interested in, it allowed me to enter the flow state of work easier because that external stimuli was a bit of white noise essentially, and productive white noise. I learned all about his life, and when I was dazed out of the work, it kind of kept me present in the work and allowed me to dial back in essentially easier. But for some people, silence is better. Find what works for you and attempt and adapt. The next tip I give in this beginner's guide to productivity is snowballing frogs. It sounds like a stupid metaphorical story, but it has an intensely productive background to it. So imagine you're on the top of a hill. You have a snowball, it's winter, there's snow on the ground. You roll the ball down the hill, and at the bottom you have a large volume of snow as it's compacted and collected together. Imagine your work as such. So You make your bed, you tidy your desk, you open your computer, you have your files open, you have the pen, paper, you align your desk neatly and have your work organized for the session ahead. Those 4 to 5 tasks beforehand will combine and compound into a large release of dopamine, keeping you dialed in, motivated and driven towards the work. That is a simple neurobiological standpoint explanation of snowballing, and I found it to be the most productive tip for when I was starting out in productivity. I would make my bed, I would tidy my bedroom, I'd have everything dialed in around me, I'd have my desk clean, I'd find these small productive tasks complete, and I'd compound them together by completing them back to back to back to back until I had motivation, I had drive, and I had this positive reinforcement loop around myself to complete the work, inevitably allowing me to complete the harder tasks because I had built up this momentum and inertia towards feeling productive and having the drive to complete the rest of the tasks. What I mean by snowballing the frog is build up the smaller tasks until you have enough inertia and momentum in dopamine and motivation to productively and efficiently dominate the larger tasks, aka the frog. It helps if you write down these small tasks and tick them off, because this in itself will release dopamine, which is the drive hormone, and neurobiologically you're hacking yourself to build momentum and motivation to complete the larger tasks and eat the frog. So that's it. That's the 2 tips I'd give myself if I was starting again, a beginner's guide to productivity. I hope you found it useful. If you're looking to get more help from me, the top links in the description will take you to a meeting page with me where I can help you using tactical techniques and strategies that have helped me and thousands of people around the world become more productive and beat procrastination. I'll fine-tune it to your life, I'll hold you accountable, and I'll help you get out of this rut. I'm here to help you. I look forward to seeing you. The links are in the description.